Okay, welcome to the Coaches Show. Here for another week. We're down here in the Waco Center in the Office of Pioneer Media for the Glenville State University Athletic Department. And our first guest on this week's show is head men's and women's track and cross country coach Dan Myers. Coach, thanks for joining us this morning.
Coach, thanks for having me.
Hey, well, big week. Championship week for the Mountain East Conference Cross Country Championships this week up at Ogilby. And we'll get to that in a moment. Looking forward to that, but we want to look back to had one last tune-up for the conference championships. Had a meet down at Pipestem down there at Concord. Tell us about last Friday.
I think it served the purpose of what we wanted, just a last tune-up on a deceivingly tough course with some really nice inclines and stuff that we were trying to do. We ran it in a format of like a workout, so like 2 on, 2 off. So really just pushing the ons at, above our, trying to get hit race pace or above. And, I think that really helped, and it hit them kind of timely with the hills. So it was a grind, like the first 13 or 14 minutes for the girls, for the first 20 minutes for the guys. But, on the girls' side, I would say, man, maybe we should do that every time, because we raced really well in that format. And, Savannah ran on that course last year. She broke her best time on that course in a workout this year. So, that was exciting to see. Sam ran a time she would have been happy with last year. And that's completely starting off the first 2 minutes with a jog. So, yeah. Which is crazy. And then Natalie ran super controlled. So, they kind of started at a deficit, and, when she came around, pretty much like 6 minutes in, she was, in second and kind of held there the rest of the way. And, she felt it 13 minutes in, but the last 7-minute push, she looked really strong. So she was encouraged with that. And, I think that she recovered, quickly after the race.
Well, and you mentioned, the guys, I think Isaac Slater's made some jumps here later. BJ Utt's been your consistent number one as far as, getting what you wanted out of that one on their side.
I think Isaac, he was just kind of struggling with, he's like, I just couldn't go. And again, that kind of goes back to, we were just pushing ourselves super hard on those ons in the first, 15 minutes or so. But overall, again, he would have been happy with that effort last year. And again, that's a workout. BJ kind of faded towards the end, but again, just really, really smart off the start in the workout format. Just some of the other guys like Elijah Arms, was near PR doing it as a workout, and man, that kid's got a lot of heart, and a lot of those guys do, and they've been pushing through some bad circumstances, but, I know no matter what happens this coming weekend, that they're going to leave it all out there. And, at this point, that's all I can ask for. But, there was some good stuff there for sure. Devin Lawson probably ran one of his better races, again, in a workout, but still, I thought it was one of his better races, kind of cut the gap to Isaac pretty well there towards the end. So, that was good to see. And it was awesome, too, with the total time, with it being a workout, that, when they were done, it wasn't as much of a grind to get them to go do the cool down and stuff like that. I think it really served the purpose of what we were doing. And it was a little hotter of a day, but, at the end of the day, man, you can't ask for better weather than that in October. So we were pretty excited about it. And the course was, shout out to Coach Cox and Coach Barbera. The course was in excellent shape. And I'll be honest, I wish we were going there next week. So
yeah. I always enjoyed those down there. It's a nice championship course and very spectator friendly. But going to Ogilby again, it's been good with the spectators up there and the way it's been done. A very challenging course. But just looking ahead to the Mountain East Championships this Saturday morning up at Ogilby.
So, haven't really looked ahead to the weather because it doesn't matter. Everyone's got to run in it. Everyone's got to attack the course. And, I think that a tougher course plays to our advantage, especially on the women's side, and just kind of seeing how they've worked together as a group and kept improving throughout the year. BJ does great on hills as well, so I'm looking forward to him to making a big splash and, kind of running with people I know that he can run with. And but, that atmosphere there every year has just been, gotten even better each year. And, the more teams that we have with, sponsoring cross in the conference, it's only going up from there. So I'm really excited to, kind of see, how we fare, with the season that we've had.
Well, I know we've talked about the races Natalie has had during the year, and an opportunity for some history on the Mountain East side here. Again, you got to go run the race, but she certainly matched up favorably about getting, in that top 20 and potentially making a run at the top 10 with how she's matched up. So, again, just it's exciting to be having that conversation.
Absolutely. And, like we said, we kind of have to do a little research on it, but it's probably been 30 years, since we've had someone in that all-conference conversation. Maybe not quite that long, but, it probably was. And, that's not some pressure that I'm throwing onto her by any means. She knows, we talked last week kind of like the range of area that she wants to run in between that like 9 and 14 area. I think that's, conservative enough to race smart, but that's also going to put her in the mix because I think there'll be a front packer 4 or 5. I think there'll be a few other stragglers there, and I think there's going to be a really big like third pack there from anywhere from like 8 to 20. I really do. There's just a lot of great girls in the conference that run in that realm. And then we just kind of have to see how the chips fall, heading into the latter stretch of the race. So, there's some things, especially with the girls that we have, with some of them with a little bit more of a track background. We're going to kind of identify kind of that last loop around that last green that, if we don't decide to go in that last 250 coming down off the hill to the soccer field, they're going to blow our doors off. So, that's something that we're really going to stress when we get there if it's the course preview, because, it's going to matter for the guys as well, but specifically for the girls, every spot's going to probably count. Yeah. And, we've just got to be strong over that last little bit. So, that's what I'm hoping for.
Well, I think that would be tremendous. And I think, having the track team up there as far as, understanding the importance of getting those teams that you're chasing, and Natalie, about, chasing history. I think that's going to provide some energy for them out on the course.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And, with having a lower number, that's really going to shake some things up, but I'm just really excited if we can get on this course and, even for the guys, like if our spread is, Isaac's closer to BJ and then Devin does what he did in the workout last week and some other guys step up, it's going to make a difference. It will make a difference. At the end of the day, they're part of a team that got to run at the conference championship, and, it's in the history book regardless of how it goes. And I think that they just need to focus on, running their best race and giving their best individual effort like they've done all year. But, if the girls go out there and run in that pack like they have been, that's going to really, really help in the range of where I think they can finish, in terms of, matching up with a school like Wheeling or Fairmont, West Libs kind of out there. But, there are just some areas there where, I feel like that we kind of belong, and we just got to go prove it.
Well, it's going to be exciting, and I think get in the moment, like we'll see how the weather is up there. A lot of challenging hills in the course, and you've had kids that have shown they can respond well, to the hills, and your training has certainly prepared them for that. So, this is what I'll leave on about, the track kids going up. I know there's some history with that, but, just about the whole family, about, the importance of them all being together at championship events.
Yeah, being together is huge. And I think even bigger than that is just they're finding the appreciation for what they're doing. No matter how we fare on the men's or women's side, that course can kind of show, how unforgiving, running can be, and how much work goes into those, 25 to 30 minutes, one time a year. And I think that in the grand scheme of things that even for a thrower or a jumper, in between jumps and all the competitors at a conference meet, that might last an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And, and they train for that hour and a half. They're training for 25, 30 minutes. Yep. At the end of the day, I think that they see the huge appreciation with all the miles they put in goes into that one day.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then I think that helps build them together, bring them together even more. And I think that more so than any year I've been here, the track group is more aware of, what some of the things that they're accomplishing this year. They always get quizzed on our Wednesday Hill days on, or Mondays as well, on, kind of how, our group finished over the weekend, or, some of the records Natalie took down. So I think that just the educating them on that some things are happening that haven't been happened before, is super encouraging. And I know they're excited to come up there and be a part of it.
Absolutely. Well, tell you, we're really proud of what you're doing. You've really brought these kids along in a very good way this year, and I think we're going to get some good performances up there and reach some goals.
Yep, looking forward to it, Coach. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here, Coach. Welcome back to the next segment of the Coaches Show, and we have with us a head volleyball coach, Kiara Perkins. Kiara, thanks for being with us this morning, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Another week in which you had 4 matches, so we get these full weeks, and they're running together. We had Bluefield and Concord together on the road same night, and then back-to-back nights on the road, Notre Dame and then Salem. Was able to pull a pair of victories with the week. Now 9-12 overall. Just some takeaways from both those events.
We knew this week was going to be a tough week with having 4 games, and especially with the back-to-back games on Tuesday, and not kind of having our normal pieces going in. So we knew it was going to be a little bit of a challenge, but still being able to pull those positives from each game and also learning from each game as well.
Yeah. Tell me about the, with coming back to get the win, Bluefield, the coming off you had to rally the troops right there, at the moment, and then the long road trip back. But just the mental side of coming back and getting the 2 wins after coming off, 2 losses.
Yeah, definitely. Even going in after those losses, still being able to pull a team together, especially after those long games. Tuesday with playing right back to back. I know earlier in the season when we had those back to back games, it was a bit of a struggle when we got to the second game, but it was honestly a great turnaround that we had. And then this past weekend, being able to come around and pull the team together after our loss on Friday, definitely there was some really good aspects from that.
Well, looking ahead, I know we're not playing till the weekend, but it's back-to-back nights, both of them at home. West Liberty Friday night, Wheeling here Saturday afternoon. Just with West Liberty, I know not just the game itself, but some other things that the program is doing surrounding the game. Talk a little bit about the match and what you're doing as a team.
Just trying to get all of our pieces back together. Seems like when we get over one hump, another one comes. But definitely just working every day, one day at a time, and really just focusing one game at a time as well. I know not having that break in between the games, being able to focus on mainly what we need to do on our side of the court. That's what I told the girls is we need to stop worrying about everything that the other team is doing. We need to take care of our basics first before we can really focus on anything else. Yeah,
and then we're talking about what you're doing with the T-shirts and, about the crowd and getting some things together this weekend as far as, with the engagement with our fans.
Yeah, so with the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, having a big game on Friday, trying to help draw in a bigger crowd, selling T-shirts, that the money will then be donated to a local hospital for breast cancer awareness, and getting the different activities and stuff between the games and the sets, and just kind of help to get the crowd engaged with the game. I know our last home game that we had against Charleston, it was very exciting. So definitely coming back into the Waco with that same excitement is what we're looking for.
Well, and 3 weeks left in the season, and with these league games coming down the stretch, I think all the non-conference games are now completed. What, as far as being in the playoff hunt, I mean, you're still there. Still got some key matches coming up, D&E and Wesleyan when we get back within the Southern Division. Is that still the focus, getting back into playoffs and giving yourself an opportunity to play in the conference tournament?
I think overall it is a big focus. Now I tell the girls, I said, I don't want you guys to be worrying about what's going to happen with the conference, because the way that the conference is going right now, like anything can really happen. But having the girls, like their main focus needs to be doing what we can on our side, remembering our fundamentals, remembering really just to have fun. That's one piece that we lost at our last game at Notre Dame is they played very well in the first set and then just kind of went down after that. But really, it's just they need to enjoy the game. Once you enjoy it, everything else really follows. Well,
I know that was a big set up there. You know, we were excited, watching all that Friday night and moving forward. But we got, again, I know you're working hard on the recruiting front. Really have a good finish here to set the table for the future of the program as well. I'll tell you what, anything to add going into the weekend?
No, not really. Just come out and support.
Well, you're doing some good work, and I thought, with especially with your background, the work that your team was involved in the mental health walk last week, and that was really, really good of all the teams we had doing that. So appreciate all you're doing for us here, Coach. And
thank you. We
will talk again next week and follow up with the West Liberty and Wheeling matches. And till then, thanks for being with us, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome back to the Glenville State University Athletic Department down in the office of Pioneer Media for the next segment of the Coach's Show. And our guest in this segment is head soccer coach JR Dodson. Coach, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Coach Kyle's always glad to be here.
Tell you what, as I know it wasn't the week you wanted, but we're still, with playoff aspirations. If you want to, we can speak to the trip up to Notre Dame and then yesterday's contest here at home with Wheeling.
Yeah, to start off with Notre Dame, I thought the girls went up there. We started off right. I thought the girls played hard the first half. We outshot them, outpossessed them, but we couldn't capitalize when we need to. When you get a chance to punish teams, you got to punish them. We missed a PK, and then we missed 2 other goals right in front of the net, and that's what we're going to be working on this week is finishing. Because when you get those opportunities against teams like Notre Dame, you have to punish them when you get the chance to punish them.
Well, then that PK, it would have been a different game. I really feel if we could have finished it off and went up 2-0, early on, of course, and then when it reversed, and then Sunday completely different game here with Wheeling, in that we outshot them by a long shot and had several opportunities, and they were able to get a few in, just couldn't finish the opportunities, basically, correct?
No, it's the same thing. You got to come out. It doesn't matter who the team is in this conference. I think anybody can beat anybody. And Wheeling, I think going into it, we thought we'd win. I think we outperformed them on the field, but they outperformed us on the scoreboard where it counts. In the second half, I think they maybe only crossed the half line 3 times. We did what we're supposed to do, but again, we didn't finish. Hannah Hill had 2 good looks. Smets had a decent look. We gotta finish those opportunities and punish teams. And that's what they do to us. You have to take advantage of those opportunities when another team gives them to you. And Wheeling did that. So hats off to Wheeling for doing what they're supposed to do. And we're looking forward to this next week and getting back down here in the South, playing what we believe are the toughest teams in the conference. And we want to be able to try to make a statement this week.
Okay, a couple big matches this week. You mentioned State, who we outshot 16-11 down there and came up a goal short on the scoreboard. So I think that's happened 4 times this year where we've taken an L when we've outshot the opponent.
Right.
Just talk about the 2 matches this week and the significance.
Well, State, we want a little bit of payback because we thought we left one, like you said, we left one on the board there. Even coming out there with a tie at their place would have been good. And I think it's going to be a battle. State is, I think they're sitting in 3rd place right now in the Southern Division. They play everybody tough. They're coming off of a loss at Notre Dame Sunday, so they're going to be coming out looking to try to get back into that win column. They're getting Esther back for Wednesday, which is their top scorer. So we're up for the challenge. I know that. I think we need to play them exactly the same way we played them before and just again, finish those opportunities that we get. We're out shooting teams, but we need to be able to get the quality now, and that's what we talked about yesterday, and that's what we're going to try to work on today. And then going in Sunday into D&E, that's who's trying to chase us in the points for the conference championship, and we want to get bigger distance from them. I think if we win that game, we lock ourselves into the tournament, bar some catastrophic mess up. But we're 3 points ahead now. If we can play the way we think we can play against State and then finish what we need to do at D&E, I think we'll be in a good position.
Well, that's you answered my last question there, was how that's framing up on the playoff front, and to be the first ever team to make the playoffs. I know that's still on the board there. So and we got 2 weeks. So.
Yeah, we have 5 games left, and we want to try to get a lot of points out of this. And this is what I think even our girls are looking forward to. We want to get in here and make a statement that we can play with the Charlestons, we can play with the Concords, we can play with the States, and they all believe it. Now it's coming down to a little bit of execution, and I think the girls are up for the task. After the drop of yesterday's game, it brought out a lot of emotions from them, and I think we're going to carry that into Wednesday's game.
Absolutely. Coach, really, really appreciate your time here today, and big opportunities ahead. Every game's an opportunity, and you all are in the hunt. And it's good to be, this from where we were the last couple of years to be in this conversation right now. It's a blessing, and it's all right there in front of you.
Thank you, Coach. We're going to keep on fighting.
Thank you, Coach. Welcome back to the Coach's Show, and our guest here in the next segment is head football coach Mike Kellar. Coach, nice to see you.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Pretty fun to be back here after a win.
Yeah, it had to search the memory bank a little bit to remember what it felt like. But no, Saturday was a fun day. Obviously, I thought you and the administration getting people here. It was a great atmosphere. I think we had over 40 recruits. The 73 team was back being honored. The 93 team back, which, haven't played here earlier in the early 90s. A lot of old teammates, so it was good to see all those guys. And then, the weather in pregame was great. When them guys were having a good time, the weather was perfect. But then when the football came around, the weather jumped the other way. And but other than that little touch of weather there in the first half, a really fun, good day.
That went sideways in that second quarter. Literally, rain was coming sideways.
Yeah.
But I think there's a football component to that, because I know there were some things that you were wanting to do that you couldn't do at that point. But just being able to rally the team mentally to come back from a 13-6 deficit and make those plays they made in that second half.
Well, we score the touchdown and we have a little bit of a high snap and get the extra point blocked and hold snap. The whole operation was a little bit messed up, and then. We're backed up and we go to punt, and we were snapping a greased pig at this point. The ball. I don't care what you did. You weren't going to keep that thing, and the ball goes through Xander's hands, and Brogan Brown makes a really good play and tackles the guy at the 1. Our defense holds him, and it makes it 6 up.
Yeah, that's a big key to the game.
That was a huge play. And then I swear to you, I was like, I don't know who we made mad, but. It's kind of raining when they got it, and when we got it, the wind's blowing sideways and it's awful out. And we get backed up. We hit their quarterback. The ball goes straight in the air, and there's Z's running a little in route, and he catches it and runs it down to the 2, and they score. And on all honesty, there's probably 6-7 minutes to go in the second quarter, and they're playing man coverage. They're all 8-man front. I know we could beat them with the pass game, but you can't throw the ball through this windstorm that we got going on. And all's going through my mind is, man, if we don't have to punt this thing, if we can run some clock, if we can get to the half where the weather's supposed to settle back down a little bit here later, because I checked it that morning, which I never do, and for whatever reason I did, I thought to myself, I said, if I could get to that point and we could keep it a 1-score game, I know we could win this game in the second half. And sometimes your heart's telling you to go for it and do different things, but my head actually won over my heart in that, and we were able to execute. And when we went at halftime, I thought, well, if we could come out here and beat their man coverage and keep playing defense the way we are, I know we can win this game. And it played out just the way I'd forecasted.
That third quarter was tremendous with the stops and being able to punch it in.
Yeah. secret play to that game was their long field goal and us having the field goal return team.
Just like you practiced it.
Yeah. Just like we practiced. We're laughing as a staff because all the things that we practice that don't work, and we never practiced that. And we were in a safe. We were in a
You thought they might punt, right?
Well, we thought they might punt, so we had Tariq back there, and the guy in the booth said they were going to kick it, and I said, so let them kick it because we'll return it anyway. And I looked at Tariq, and I said, Tariq, return it. And he looked at me kind of cockeyed, like, can you return a field goal? And I'm like, thank God this happened to Auburn and Alabama probably when he was in 5th grade, and he remembered that. So we ran the ball back to like their 40, and then that was the first time all day where we had the field position battle won.
Yeah.
And then we ended up getting we turned the ball over in downs. Then we got a turnover, and then we ran the bubble go to Tariq for a touchdown, and we were able to do some things to get the lead and stay ahead.
No, that was big weekend all around, and really it was festive and everything that came with it. And you tell me about looking forward now, getting back to 500. You got 3 wins on the board. Mm-hmm. Concord coming to town. That was a tough loss down there. Crazy weather conditions down there last year. Just about rallying the troops to battle the mountain lions this weekend.
Where we're at right now is we feel in our losses. Now, Charleston's really good. State, that game could have went either way. And in West Liberty, we felt like we gave them some things, right? So, and they're, if you look at it, it's really an even league for about 5 or 6 teams in this league, even teams. And where we're at now is we just don't want Glenville to beat Glenville. And it's our mindset and how we do things. When we play at a certain standard or a certain level, we're pretty good. And when we don't, we're not, So, like, all we've been looking at is our video on what do we do well, how can we build on what we do well, how can we drill and get better at what we don't do well, and how do we keep our mindset the right way. I mean, you and I talk about it. You coached all those years, you got all those championships. You understand mindset a lot, and you and I talk about this. But to have lost 2 games in a row the way we did and be trailing like we were to West Liberty and make the comeback we did, shows some character and some mindset. Some program things are in good place. Yeah. And then to have battled the adversity we had to with the weather, and we're down. Where our kids' minds could go in a situation like that is a lot of different directions. You're dealing with kids, so it could go a million different directions. And for us to come out and get the stops that we needed and to make the plays that we made, and to win the game by 2 scores, having dealt with 3 straight losses, all the adversity, all the stuff that people on the outside look at and say, oh, your heads are getting too big when you beat Notre Dame, and then you're not confident when you lose this team. Well, there's reasons all those things are happening. And for our kids to take it one play at a time and to handle it and do their job and all those coaching cliches is really a testament to, what's being coached and how they're listening to it. And, so now we got to handle that. We got to move on. I mean, you got Concord here, and all they're going to hear is Concord's not having a great season. Concord's not the team they were. Well, Concord still has one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best in this league. I'm partial to our guy, and there's a couple other players I think are really good, but this kid's a great player. Yeah. They got some really good skill. Their tailback was a first-team all-region kid a year ago. They got really good receivers. If you don't think that they're going to come in here and test you, then you're crazy. I mean, they didn't win 9 games last year without having some character themselves. Yeah. So, but my worry is not Concord or Pembroke or Frostburg or Wesleyan. Those are the 4 teams we got remaining. My worry has always been and always will be our team, and what we got to do and what our mindset will be. And that'll start today at the 4:00 meeting. And obviously I'm going to echo these thoughts onto our team, and I expect us to practice at a hard level. Just the only thing that's different after a win and a loss in practice is the mood. The way you got to attack it is the same. Yeah, exactly. And talking about mindset, and like you said, how easily you could be 5-1 right now, and there's other teams in the league certainly feel like they could be 5. Certainly. So it's just the league is really a lot of teams are very close. It's an even league. I'm really proud of where we started when I got this job and where we're at. But it's taken us 4 years to get the talent level to where we're as even as most of the teams in this league. Our off season really is going to be, and I'll probably have some meetings with you on this as well. I'm sure you will. Yeah, and I don't have the answers right now, but okay, how do we go from where we're at to where we want to be? Where you want to be is that you win them all. And, right now our talent level is good enough that we could win them all, but we could lose them all. So where do we go? where do we go from where we're at to where we want to be? And I don't know that anyone has that answer. I mean, Charleston's the best team in the league right now this year, but you know, they've been a 3-4 loss team every year for the last few years. You know, Notre Dame's won 5 straight. I think they've got 3 losses. Everyone's in the same boat, you know. And how do you separate yourself like a Shepherd in the PSAC East has, or how a Slippery Rock has in the PSAC West, or you know, some of these teams in their regions? Hey, you know, how do you separate yourself from the rest of your league? What are you going to do differently or better, other than, you know, scheme or drill, or the, you know, where are you going to make that leap at? And that's something that we're searching, and we got some ideas, and there's some ways to do it, but that's going to be, you know, that's the cross we got to bear come, you know, the off season with our recruitment and our development.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, cannot wait for this game this Saturday. I think it's going to be, every game's an opportunity, but you know, the way that second half unfolded, and guys have a little more skip in their step coming in here this morning, I'm hoping something we can carry forward.
You certainly hope that you build upon it, and I hope our mindset stays the same. You know, my message today, I always talk to them Monday is, hey, when we win, I treat you this way. When we lose, I treat you this way. So, you know, I'm not going to be any different. You know, I'm going to be demanding at practice, and we're going to have some special drills for them this week, and we did that last week as well. But we're going to do some things to try to get them going, and be good with our fundamentals, and be good with our execution. And if we do that, I'll take our chances.
Yeah, that's a good win. You beat a good team Saturday, and I think we can move forward here.
Same here. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Coach. Welcome back to the Coaches Show, and our next segment here this morning is with head women's golf coach of the conference champion Pioneers, Mike McGarry. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Jesse, thank you. This is a blast.
And I know you weren't with us last week. We weren't able to recap the because you were out recruiting, ABR, right? Always be recruiting up in Ohio. But we've got, first off, back-to-back conference championships. Tell us about, you know, again, we touched on it last week about coming back from 12 shots down on that back 9 to win by 2. Of course, you know, there was some adversity along the way to put you in that position, but the young ladies found a way to pull it out.
It was really cool. And as I shared with Bob Edwards on Saturday, it all started on the 8th hole, and the 8th hole is the hardest hole in the golf course. It's a par 3, and you don't think a par 3 is that hard. I've actually played TPC Sawgrass where the pros play. 8's harder. 8's a lot harder. Bicker slams in a 10-footer for par, goes over, hits it 2.5, 3 feet on 9, makes birdie, par's 10, and I'm driving over to 11, and she's got a hybrid out. It's straight downwind par 5. I'm like, Lizzie, what are you doing? She says, well, I've hit this for 2 days. I said, I'm not asking you to hit it today. I said, just swing driver. Give me a driving range, swings it, get the ball in the air, it's downwind. She hits it 302 yards. Yes, you heard that correct.
302, wow.
I mean, she killed it. And stuffs it in there 15, 18 feet. You know, misses the eagle putt, but taps in for birdie, hits it 15 feet the next hole. And all of a sudden, the mojo started to change right there. That was the turning point of the tournament. Her par putt on 8 and the drive on 11 and birdieing 11. And from there, we started creeping back to other players, and players were holding their own and you know, digging deep. And how about Lexus Fickle? I mean, my God, if you would have, for those of you out there, the 16th hole is another par 3, and the 2 holes that have always given us fits is hole 14, which almost did us in again, but hole 16, Fickle hits it in there 12 feet. And Lexus always says, I'm not a good putter from 15 to 18 feet. I'm like, well, it's not 15 to 18, it's only 12. And she makes birdie. I mean, she makes birdie. And then, you know, hits a 7-wood off the tee on 18 both times she played it. And she's out hitting everybody, hitting driver by 35, 40 yards, and stuffs it in her 18 feet, 2 putts, and we win. Then goes back on the medalist tiebreaker, does the same thing. I mean, these kids gutted it out. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I thought the way they kept themselves together mentally, because it wasn't that you were birdieing and just knocking it stiff. They were just playing the match as the other squad was unraveling a little bit, and they kept it together. And so, you know, I felt like the way it was done. And you mentioned Lexus was in the lead for a big part of the tournament, then she lost it. I think she fell to 3rd for a while, and then the rally to get the time, then to win it on the playoff hole.
She battled hard, and it was sweet. Everybody. How about Mackenzie Zeppla, a freshman? I mean, this girl's got to be nervous as can be, shaking her boots. She shoots 78, and I'll take full blame for why she didn't shoot 76. The 11th hole, day 2, hit the par 5, and she's out there with a 6er, and I said, hey, I didn't bring you down here from Canada to lay up. I mean, she put in the greenside bunker. She had a crummy lie, didn't get it out. But, I mean, she was playing smart, but there's an opportunity that you can go for broke a little bit to separate yourself. And if she does hit it on the green, the confidence carries her the rest of the way. But we used her score twice, and she shot 78 at Avalon, which is a great number.
Well, tell me this here, the win, the celebration. I know we've talked about it in different settings. I know you talked about it some with Bob about, I think we had well over 200 people in here to Waco Center when the
there was way more than that.
Oh, absolutely,
way more than that.
Yeah, just about the effect that had on the team. And
well, first of all, last year had about 200-300. I would say there's more like 500 to 600 easily this year. And we pulled in, and Hendershot's sitting in the front seat of the van. She goes, "Oh my God, it's a mob scene. I'm not getting out of this van." I'm like, "Come on, kid. You want to play big time golf? This is what you better get prepared for."
Everybody jumped on him.
It was cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was great. It was great. Great atmosphere. I thought your words were really appreciate everything you said there about the institution, in the atrium. And
come on.
Believe, the back-to-back, and, we'll move on.
It's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. The couple things here. The moving on, you had some of your players that were not in the championship event played at
Pipestem.
At Pipestem down there, and we had some pretty weather, right?
It was gorgeous. Now the thing about Pipestem, Jesse, is they hadn't had rain for 40 days, so the fairways were as firm and as fast as a parking lot. As a matter of fact, I actually played a couple holes in the practice round, and I don't hit it that far, but I actually had to drive 363 yards. And, of course, it rolled 100 yards. But my point is, when you have a golf course that firm and fast, now you really got to control your distance and be full command of the ball. Rebecca Sagalski was out shooting 78 one day, followed by DJ Deborah Hill shoots 77, her all-time best, as was Sagalski's all-time best. I mean, we got things humming right now. And then the recruits we're trying to bring in, we're just going to keep reloading until we can't reload anymore. Well,
I'll tell you, it's very exciting, and I know you've got the spring to improve on that body of work. You've got the AQ, but you really want to be in a position to move up in that regional, and you have to feel like you're in a better position with that now, and so it's very exciting, very exciting. It's been an exciting couple of weeks for you, and a couple other things I want to talk about on the heels of that for the program that we'll talk here afterwards. So really appreciate it.
Before I let you go, let's talk about this. How about Haley Hendershot wins the first tournament of the year at Glade?
Yeah.
Then she goes to Edgewood at Charleston. She's 4 under par on the 16th hole, makes a dumb bogey, but shoots 3 under, shoots 1 over the next day. And in their school record for an individual, she's 2 under par for 2 days. How about the first round? We're 302, which beats our previous school record of 304 from last year's team. Then we follow up the next day, and we shoot 296. I mean, it does not get better than that.
Unbelievable. Yeah, moving along. And I want to tell you, and I know we got a minute or two left here. I wanted to, about Hendershot, about her pulling herself together. A bogey and 2 doubles. She was 5 over. I don't know if you saw the golf stat as it was unfolding. She was in last place as an individual 3 holes in.
Yeah.
Of the whole thing.
Of the whole thing.
So she went from 41st all the way back to 4th.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just something about, her just pulling herself together. And a lot of young players, the train goes off the track at that point, and she pulled it together.
The kid has so much talent, it's crazy. Haley's got, I saw it the first day she showed up on campus. Her short game was something I've never seen at the college ranks. And she hits it a mile. And the one shot she actually hit in on 14 after having to take an unplayable live from 150 yards into a stiff breeze. She hit 7-iron, hit her 8 feet behind the hole. I mean, it was a tour quality shot. The talent here, Jesse, I've told you this before, I'll say it again. I don't know if we can bring a more talented team into Glenville right now. This is as good as it's going to get. If we get better, I don't know, man. God's smiling on us if that happens. That's all I can say about it. We're humming, but things are going the right way. And one last thing, a lot of people are like, oh, you got 6-7 months off. And they're looking at it like that's a bad thing. I think that's a great thing. Now we can change all the problems we have with the physical golf swing or the mental approach to the game, and we could really clean this up. So I think last year we were thrilled to be there. I think this year we got to get out of regionals to really put the exclamation point on the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, Coach, very, very proud of what this program is doing. It's been a tremendous run, and I know that in your eyes, you're not finished. We keep trying to go up, keep going up the ladder, finish higher regionals, try to get in that, final 8. And but again, another conference championship, another ride with the fire trucks. Congratulations,
It's
Coach.
cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.